All right. 7.4. Dividing decimals by whole numbers. Hey, y'all are talking too much. Therefore, we're going to give 2 marks for those that talk. All right. So what we're talking about is this. We have the whole number 5, and we're dividing it into 5.5. Okay, now, let's remind ourselves that this, if we were writing it horizontally, would be 5.5, division sign, and 5. Remember, this is the dividend. This is the divisor. Okay, the divisor always goes on the outside of our bracket. The dividend is always on the inside of the bracket. So the second number is on the outside. The first number is on the inside. Okay? Remember, that's the number sign and not hashtag. Okay, we're not twittering our division problems. So, 5 into 5.5. Okay? You will not have remainders. Okay? All of these will divide out evenly. We call that terminating. Eventually we'll get to that this week. Okay? But you're basically 5 goes into 5 one time, be 5, remainder 0, bring down this next 5, put the decimal up on top of your division bar. Okay? 5 always goes into 5 one time, be 5, subtract those, you get 0. So your answer is 1.1. Okay, now, four into 30.4. Okay, so 4 goes into 30 7 times, be 28. Subtract those 2, remainder 2. Bring down your 4. Bring up your decimal. 4 goes into 24 6 times, be 24. Remainder 0. So 7.6 is your answer. Now, the way you would check your work, I am not going to require you to check your work, okay? But the way that you would check either one of these problems would be take your answer, 1.1, and multiply it by the divisor. Okay, and that would be 5.5. So that does check for that. Same way over here. You would take 7.6 times 4. 4 times 6 is 4, carry my 2. 4 times 7 is 28, plus 2 would be 30. And I have 1 decimal place there, 0 there, so I would move it 1 place and get 30.4. So it does check. Once again, I am not requiring you to check it. Might be a good idea to do it. Okay? All right, next. Let's say they had 112.5 divided by 75. Okay, once again, that's 75 into 112.5. Okay, 75 goes into 112 one time. Okay, we subtract that. You got to borrow, make that 12, make that 7. Borrow, make that a 0, make that 10. Be 37. Bring down my 5. Bring up my decimal.
Mrs. Bidwell, would you call the office, please?
Now, 75 into 375. Okay? If you will look at this, 7 goes into 37 how many times? 5 times? Okay? So that's going to be our estimate up here. We're going to say that 75 goes into 375 5 times. 5 times 5 is 25. Carry my 2. 5 times 7 is 35 plus 2, 37. Remainder 0. So your answer then is 1.5. I want you to do this one on your own. 8.551 divided by 17. Okay, so we'll set it up. So that's how you will set it up. All right. 17 doesn't go into 8, so we put a 0 and we put a decimal. 17 goes into 85 5 times. That would be 85. Remainder 0. Bring down your 5. 17 doesn't go into 5, so I put a 0. Bring down my 1. 17 goes into 51 3 times. Be 51. Remainder 0. So your answer is 0.503. Hey. Any questions on that one? Celine? Okay, where are you getting confused? $17 doesn't go into 8. In other words, I can't do this. Okay, that's 0 times. Okay, now, basically, if I carry it out, okay, 17 doesn't go into 8. It goes 0 times. So 0 times 17 is 0. Remainder 8. Bring down that 5. 17 goes into 85 5 times. 5 times 17 is 85. Remainder 0. Bring down that 5. 0 times 17 is 0. Remainder 5. Bring down that 1. 17 goes into 51 3 times, and that would be 51. Remainder 0. Instead of writing it out that long, I just said 17 into 85 and put it, and then went from there. $17 goes in 85 5 times. No, 17. You got to bring up the decimal, and you got to have your 0 there. Obviously, that 0 in front of the decimal does not have to actually be in your answer. It can be. In other words, these are the same. Okay, those are the same answers. Okay, let's look at another one. Do this one on your own. Easy one. 2 into 3.6. All right. Tristan, what'd you get? What? No. Not .16. Brandon? 1.8. That is correct. So, 2 goes into 3 one time, be 2, remainder 1, bring down your 6, bring up your decimal. 2 goes into 16, 8 times, 16, remainder 0. So your answer is 1.8. Okay? Okay, 7 into 0.49. Okay? Well, 7 doesn't go into 0, so you put a 0. That would be 0, remainder 0, bring down your 4, bring up your decimal. Does 7 go into 4? No. So we put another 0. 0 times 7 is 0. Remainder 4, bring down your 9. 7 into 49, 7 times. Be 49, remainder 0. So, 0.07. Okay, do this one on your own. 5 into 7.53. All right, let's look at it. This is, now that I've actually figured it out in my head, this is a little different than what we've been doing. All right, we have 5 into 7 goes one time, be 5, remainder 2, bring down your 5, bring up your decimal. 5 into 25 goes how many times? 5 times. Be 25, remainder 0, bring down your 3. 5 goes into 3 how many times? 0 times. Now, here's where it becomes different. I have to add a 0 right here. 0 times 5 is 0. Remainder 3. Bring down the 0 that I added. Okay, remember, adding zeros to the back of the number doesn't change the number. 5 goes into 30 how many times? 6 times. Be 30, remainder 0. So 1.506 is your answer. Okay, that's what happens if you get to the end and it still hasn't got a remainder of 0, then you add a 0. Okay, let me see if there's any. Yeah. All right, let's look at this one. 0.98 divided by 56. So that's 56 into 0.98. Okay, does 56 go into 9? No. So I put a 0 behind the decimal. Does 56 go into 98? Yes. One time. Be 56, remainder 42. Now, I'm going to add a 0 and bring it down. 56 into 420. Now, to get an estimate, I'm going to look at the 5 and the 42. 5 goes into 42 8 times, so let's try 8. 8 times 6 is 8, carry my 4. 8 times 5 is 40 plus 4, 448. So that doesn't work because it's larger than 420. So I drop it down to 7. Seven times 6 is 2. Carry my 4. That would be 392. Okay? And that's a remainder of 28. Do I have a 0 remainder? No. So I have to add another 0 and bring it down. Now, we look at the same thing. 5 goes into 28 how many times? 5 times. So that's what we're going to try. 5. 5 times 6 is 30. Carry my 3. 5 times 5 is 25 plus 3, 28. Remainder, 0. So, 0.0175 is your answer. Don't be a hater, right? Curls, don't be a hater. I know. I'm just asking you. I'm just telling you. We don't be haters, do we? I hate this. Oh, we still don't hate. Still don't hate. Hate's not good. All right, now your homework. 7.4, 8 through 21. Okay, you still have about 18 minutes left in class. Okay, it's a total of 13 problems. 14 problems. Okay, of which we've done 4 or 5 of them. So, get to work. Well, then quit using that sharpener.